will come to him. He's out there with a kidnapper. He's not safe. He's never going to be safe again till he's with me.
Honey, at least Dr. Roman feels that Milagro is alive. Was there anything else you wanted to say to her?
No, not at the moment. If I come up with anything else, I'll call.
Let me show you to the door, then.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll get your coat. Doctor?
If I've upset her, I'm sorry, Mrs. Buchanan. I had to be honest.
Yes, of course. She's just very, very tired, that's all.
I don't think we can interpret Dr. Roman's report as proof that Lita's in Argentina or anywhere else. If she's down there, Cord and Inspector Ramos will find her, but I'm not leaving you.
Look, you were prepared to not believe a word he said, even before he even got here.
Yeah, maybe so. But he said a couple things that hit kind of close to home.
Like what, about Al?
No, about you and Cord. And the feelings you two share.
Honey, those are just shared feelings about our baby.
Well, yeah, then why do you keep clutching at the picture?
Max, honey, come on.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Initially, Lee and I decided to live under the same roof because it was a necessity. We had to provide a proper home for Mary Lynn.
Well, exactly. You had no choice. It was either that or Mary Lynn going to trial for possession of drugs.
True. You know, Viki, even after Mary Lynn was exonerated, both Lee and I agreed that we didn't want to break up the home.
Was that for Mary Lynn's sake?
Oh, Mary Lynn's very pleased to have her mother at home, of course.
I'm sure she is. I mean, I'm sure she's delighted. What about you? How do you feel?
Well, if my daughter's happy, so am I.
That's not what I mean.
I know, but I am very pleased myself, for myself. It's nice to go home and have someone to, well, share dinner with and to talk to.
And what about the old feelings? All those 17 years worth of pain and anger.
You know, I swore I'd never stop hating Lee for doing what she did to Mary Lynn and me, but it was wonderful. For some reason, living together again has, well, made it fairly easy to forgive and forget.
What about Lee? Has she been able to forgive and forget her version of the past?
Well, she said so, yeah.
You're not sure?
Oh, no, frankly, I'm not. That's why I can't let all my feelings out. I was so terribly hurt the last time. I don't think I could live through it a second time.
There's a way to minimize the risk, you know. You and she should be alone together somewhere. No Mary Lynn, no dirty dishes, no job to wake up to in the morning. Just the two of you together.
Okay. That's a wonderful idea. Well, there's an fat chance, right? Example, excuse me, 1 second. Yes, hello. Well, yes, I've already approved the series of articles on the Delaware River. The boat has been chartered already. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything. Can't make it. Oh, I see. All right, I'll be right over there. Viki, huh?
Crisis?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. Can't you tell? Always, wouldn't you know? Look, I have to find someone to replace one of the writers who can't make it on this cruise. I'll be right back. All right?
Take your time. I'll write the editorial.
Would you consider taking over WVLE for me? No, I guess not, huh? Okay, see you in a little bit.
Mr. Roman.
You knew I was here. Your psychic powers are just beginning to reveal themselves, Mrs. Buchanan.
I think probably I just smelled your aftershave. At any rate, come in. What can I do for you?
Thank you. I didn't mean to disturb your work, but I've been troubled ever since I saw you this morning.
Yes. We're all worried, Mr. Roman. And since you were engaged to find Tina's baby, we would sincerely appreciate any help that you can give the police.
I didn't come here to talk about the baby, Mrs. Buchanan. I'm here to talk about you.
Mr. Roman, I'm not sure I follow you. As I said, you were engaged to find the baby, and as such, I can certainly understand where you might extend your powers to include the mother and the father, but I don't believe that I'm a very likely subject.
Believe me, Mrs. Buchanan, as a psychic, I do not use my powers to play the horses or guess election results or freelance with strangers. However, today, when we met, I felt something so strong, so powerful.
About me?
It isn't so much about you as it is about your husband.
Clint.
At the risk of alarming you, I couldn't let another day go by without speaking of the danger he's in.
Danger? Oh, my God, you must mean the horse race. Do you have some sort of premonition about this 100-mile ride he wants to do?
We're talking about a sense, an ephemeral feeling. I can't speak of details, Mrs. Buchanan. All I know is that your husband wants to do something very badly, and you stand in his way.
It must be the race. The thing is, it could be fatal for him, Mr. Roman. You're saying I should stand firm. Well, that is what you're saying, isn't it?
You must see beyond the immediate danger and trust in a grander plan.
Those words are all very lovely and cryptic, but what do they mean?
Let your husband have his way.
But if he's in danger...
The grand plan, Mrs. Buchanan. Transcend your mundane worries and trust in the greater scheme.
How on earth can I do that when my husband could die?
Example. A man is about to take a plane. His wife had a nightmare the night before, a plane crash. She rushes to the airport and stops him from boarding the plane. It takes off without him. She drives him home. That night, while they sleep, another plane takes off from the same airport, loses power, and crashes into their home.
Are you warning me that if I stop Clint from going on the ride, something terrible is going to happen?
I didn't come here to warn you, Mrs. Buchanan. I came here to tell you to have faith. Faith enough to let your husband make his choice. I sincerely hope I didn't frighten you. My intention was just the opposite.
It's not enough that I'm executive editor, and I'm the travel editor. Oh, I beg your pardon.
It's quite all right, sir. I'm just about to leave. Goodbye, Mrs. Buchanan. And again, have faith.
Viki, you all right?
I'm not sure.
You look familiar to me.
His name is Sidney Roman.
From the psychic?
Yes. He was actually brought in by the police to help find Tina's baby, but he seems he had some thoughts for me and for Clint.
Now, Viki, whatever he said to you, forget it, huh?
I can't. I think a year or so ago I may very well have been able to forget, but ever since I nearly died on the operating table, Tom, I've come to believe that almost anything is possible. Did you manage to solve your crisis on the cruise?
Well, no, not quite.
Well, why don't you go and finish it up then, and I'll finish the editorial.
Are you sure you don't want to talk?
No, I'm sure. But we'll talk later, okay?
Okay.
Sarah, hi, it's Viki. No, there's no news about the baby yet. I was hoping that Clint would be nearby. Still? Ah, my goodness. I guess he and Asa must be having a wonderful time. Both of them riding on the trail. Yes, well, they'll have to come home sometime, won't they? A message? No. No message.